Liberation is in peace of mind. Liberation is in peace of mind. Liberation is in peace of mind.
What's good, everybody out there? Welcome to the True Mind Podcast. This is episode 3. You feel me? I'm super excited. This episode is gonna be a little different. This is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be having an actual artist and a singer-songwriter on the show. Most of my shows have been about just entrepreneurship, which artists are entrepreneurs in a way anyway, but this is going to be a little bit different. So sit back, enjoy the show, and enjoy the ride. The guest I got coming into the studio today is a talented singer, songwriter, actress, and just good peoples. We met a little over a month ago, and you know the vibe was just a vibe. Y'all gonna love her. And without any further interruptions, let me introduce Serrin Joy. The one, the only. It is you. How you doing?
Me in the flesh. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good too.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Besides the heat outside,
Man,
we were just talking about that. It's definitely hot.
it's more than hot. You
It's
wouldn't
hot.
guess it with the the long sleeve, but
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I'm from Ohio, so I wear fall clothes all year round. But I
Right.
laid my edges a couple of hours ago. Walked outside and they puffed, so I had to wear a scarf on the way
for real.
here. Yes,
So you just had a lot going on.
I had a lot going on,
Yeah.
but it's okay because we're here now.
It is okay.
It's all good.
It's all about the now and the future.
It's all about the now and
Yeah.
the future and where we're going. That's
Exactly.
what it's about, right?
Well, I'm excited to have you.
Yes, I'm excied to be here.
Yes. I got a lot of things I want to ask you about.
All right, let's
You
get
know what
into
I'm saying?
it. Yeah.
But obviously, the obvious thing is you're a singer.
Yes.
So, just tell me a little bit. How'd you get into the music industry?
So, the industry or music itself?
Music itself.
Okay, so in my family, I'm the oldest of 5. We all do music. My dad's in the gospel industry. His name is Walter Scrutchings. He is a producer, songwriter. He's an artist himself. And he's also over the men's division at the Gospel Music Workshop of America. And then my mom, she's a classically trained pianist, and she also used to be a theater teacher. But yeah, so my parents, they instilled music in me and all my siblings. We all sing, we all play instruments. Yeah, and I started off in church, like in the church choir. I was the youngest one amongst like the adults. I was in praise team, Sunday school choir, the kids choir, all that. So start off in church, and just progress into me wanting to venture out and do my own thing. Yeah, so that's how I got started in music.
And that makes sense because you kind of got like a little more soul on your voice. So now that I know you got the church background, I can understand where the soul comes from.
That's where it started.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. And when you first were thinking about getting into it, was your family? I'm pretty sure your family was behind it. I'm sure, right?
I'll say my immediate family understood my mental more than a lot of other people. I will say that. I will say my family as a whole, they are supportive, but they are also realists too. So of course everybody was asking me, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? I don't have a plan B. Like, this is going to work out.
Exactly.
And so that, yeah.
And that's the mindset you're supposed to have.
That's the mindset I do have.
There you go.
There's
This
no
is the True Mind Podcast.
This is the True Mind.
We all about the mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The mind is a powerful thing.
For
So
sure.
I'm glad that because you're so young, and for you to understand that already, like, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
The first song I ever wrote, I was 8 years old. It was called Sing With Me. I wrote it at my elementary school. They used to have this poetry reading at the end of every month, and I decided to be the only little kid to write a song, and I sang it for everybody. And yeah, that was the first song I ever wrote. I was 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is your writing process the same, or has it
No,
changed?
it's definitely changed. Back then I used to stay up till like 3 in the morning writing songs in this little notebook that my mom got me, with no music around me. I would just hear the music in my head and I would just write lyrics. But now, being that I'm working with Neo, which is super cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to
And
Neo.
shout out to Neo. Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
He is so cool. He's so
Really?
cool. Yeah. And we'll
Okay.
get into all that. But he's
For
so
sure.
cool. And after watching his process, the biggest thing that he has told me thus far is to focus on the melody And once you have a really dope melody, then you can fill in the words. Because a lot of times people, when they hear songs, they remember how the song went, but they might not remember the lyrics. So you got that fire melody? Oh, you got that's yeah.
It really don't matter what you're saying because it sounds good. It's about how it sounds.
Right.
And from the outside looking in, like I feel like when I look at like what I like, even though I love Kendrick, he still knows how to.
This recent album.
How you feel about it?
I love the story.
Okay.
I love the story. There was one song that is my favorite song on the album, and it had to do with him and the girl.
Okay.
What do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. We Cry Together.
Yes.
Yeah, We Cry Together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a genius.
Yeah.
That is he's a genius for that. Everybody involved.
I remember when I first heard that because I was into the album from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And like it got to that song, and then he first said his first line. I had to pause it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, he finna
Let's
go
run
crazy.
it from the top.
Yeah, he finna go crazy.
He's about to go stupid.
Yeah, that was. But it's real though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's really real. It's
Yeah.
really real in the feel like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to.
What?
Like I don't want to be in a situation like
Right,
that.
right,
Toxic,
right.
But we've all been around that, or even have been in situations
But
like
you know,
that.
he's
So
one
it's
of
like,
my favorite rappers. He's one of my favorites.
that's good to know. You know what I mean? Because you're a young and upcoming artist, so it's like good to know that there's artists in the industry that like good music too, and that are, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna say Kendrick slept on because of course he's not, but like
Definitely not.
he's not everybody's cup of tea.
Okay.
You know what
Acquired
I'm saying?
taste. I hear you.
Acquired taste.
Right.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So you like J. Cole too?
J. Cole is fire.
Okay.
I like watching, something I've been getting into recently is watching freestyles. Like rappers just like top of the head.
Yeah.
J. Cole is crazy. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. He was crazy too.
I got to work with Juice WRLD.
What?
Yeah.
How is that?
Everything that's advertised, like he really is raw like that. Like,
Okay.
I was in some of the rehearsals, the band would just be messing with the sounds and doing things, and they would maybe like start playing like an instrumental just because, and he just started spitting, and it would sound like it was a written, but it was just him freestyling the whole time.
I seen this video of him where it was like whoever was standing next to him, they would just hand to him different objects.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That was crazy.
Stupid.
That's crazy.
Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. He was fire.
Yeah, rest in peace, Juice WRLD, for real.
For sure. Yeah.
Gone too soon.
Gone way too soon.
Yeah, he was talented. Did you see his documentary?
I didn't.
It's a little, I won't say dark, it's a little sad, I guess you could say, but I mean, that was his reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind of focused more so on his, once he blew up and kind of that lifestyle that he was going into and his surroundings more so than like his backstory, which was kind of different for a documentary, but I would definitely, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard Lil Baby's coming out with a documentary too. And I forgot where that's supposed to be streaming. But I like to watch different documentaries on different artists just to see their I don't think that's the right word. Just to see how they were brought up. Just to see how they got into it. Like not too long ago I was watching a Janis Joplin. You know who that is?
That sounds familiar, but
she's a rock singer.
Okay.
I was watching one of her documentaries, and then the Elvis movie's about to come out, and I was watching one of his documentaries, and I just want to dab.
So you everywhere with
I want to dab in everything,
Yeah.
just to see. Okay, I like that. I can take that.
Well, this may be a deep statement, but I feel like everything is related. You know what I mean?
For
so,
sure.
Like it really don't matter. You know what I mean? It's all
Universal. Music is universal.
So you can get something from everything. You gotta be open to it.
And it's good to listen to everything because you can gain so much. And instead of just boxing yourself in and me only listening to R&B and no, I want to listen to everything.
Because you may find some inspiration from somewhere else, and then now your music sounds so much different than everybody who's in that lane or that R&B box.
Definitely.
So yeah. Okay, well, so you were a freestyler then? Because we were talking about freestyle.
No.
No. Okay.
That's not my bag.
Okay,
not gonna sit here and cap. It's not my bag.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Right.
So.
I know where I have to draw the line. But I do really like watching freestyles, and I wish that I could. I feel like one day I will be able to, but right now, no. It's not my thing.
It's really writing is a form of freestyling. It's remembering it. You know what I mean? So like, okay, well, I like that. Let me write that down. I like that. Let me write that down.
Yeah. The people that I've been working with over at the studio that I'm at now, they're like so. Of course, they're older than me, so they've had more experience. But when it comes like to coming up with lyrics, they're top of the head. Like, oh yeah, we just gonna do this. They're good at freestyling. Me, I need to take my time. It could take me a whole day to write a song. It could take me 30 minutes to write a song.
Right.
I'm not as consistent with the time, but like some people, top of the dome, every song hit.
Sometimes that's just practice and repetition, though, too.
For sure.
Everybody's process is different.
For sure.
So, so we don't skip over it.
Yeah.
You brought up Neo. Like, how did that come about? Like,
God.
I was.
So that was just right place, right time situation.
Okay.
What happened was I used to work at an attraction. I'm not going to say where, but I used to work at an attraction here in Atlanta, and I used to work during the day, go to open mics at night.
Okay.
So I went to this open mic, and I sang, do you know Gallus?
Not familiar.
Capella, Gallus, City of my Palace.
Oh, yeah, I've heard the song. Yeah.
So I sang that, but I did an
Okay.
acoustic version. So I had like a guitar,
That sounds fire.
and yeah, it was dope. And I posted it, and he commented, shared it, So one of my followers, they DM'd me. They were like, "Oh, I was just at the studio with him last night. You should pull up."
Right.
But I didn't see the text till like 11:30. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm in the bed.
Right.
Because I'm very much a homebody. I
Okay.
stay, unless like I have a group of people or I have a good friend that I'm like going out with, I stay inside.
Right.
So it's late, I'm in a bed, scarf, bonnet, under the covers. Nighty night, sleep tight, don't let the bed
It's
bite.
wraps.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I was on the phone with one of my friends, and I remember I was telling them, I was like, man, I got invited to go to this studio, but it's late. I don't think we'll go. My friend was like, Serrin, if you don't get up and go to the studio, shout out to them. They know who they are. Shout out to them. But they're like, if you don't get up and go to the studio, I was like, okay. So I got my clothes on. I go to the studio. I don't know anybody there, right? I'm thinking it's a session. I show up with like some leggings, a hoodie, chill, whatever. I walk in there. Now, I don't know if it was that night or the night before, but Capella was there filming this video, a music video with this other artist named Zay France, who he's really dope too. And they were doing this video. So it was all these people there dressed to the nines. I'm talking like it's producers and rappers and vixens and just everybody is iced
Like
out.
a real
and
music video.
yeah,
right
like, and I'm just like leggings, hoodie, looking bummy because I'm thinking it's a session. So I get in there and I see people playing their music, and there's another artist named Flight, and she's really dope too.
Okay.
And I introduced myself to her because she seemed like a really cool vibe. And I was like, hey, do you mind like if I play one of my songs for these people? She was like, nah, girl. She gave me she handed me the aux. I plugged it in, played one of my songs. Right when I play like 10 seconds, owner of the studio comes in. All right, y'all, we got to wrap it up. Time to go. And I'm like, of course it would be when right. And don't nobody know me in there. Like, it would be. But then he introduced himself to me afterwards. He was wondering where I was from. And I just told him, like, I'm from Akron, Ohio. And he was like, all right, cool. So I left. 2 days later, I get a text from him. His name's Mr. And he was like, hey, I'd like you to come back to the studio. I want to hear a couple things. So I was like, okay. So I go back to the studio after I get off work. And he heard a couple things. He was like, all right, I want to work with you.
Straight like that.
Straight. He heard a couple things. He said, all right, your tone's nice. He was like, your tone. I like your tone. I want to work with you. Next day I came in. We cut a demo. He said, all right.
Shout out to old boy. He got good
Shout out
taste.
to Mr. Much love to Mr. Love you.
Yes, yes, sir.
So yeah, since then I just been going back, and then one of the days, Neo came into the studio, and I was not expecting him to come in there, but he came in while I was having my session, and I played him some of my stuff. He liked what he heard.
It's all in timing, you feel me? Because, I mean, like you said, when you was in there and you dude walks in talking about, all right, it's a rap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to feel like, but it was meant to be.
For
Look
sure.
at you now,
For sure. So
congratulations. Let's give it up.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is only part of their journey. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
when I first moved to Atlanta, so I'm from Akron, Ohio, and then I went to college in New York for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I went back to Akron, but when I went back to Akron, it was I was very tedious on finding a job.
So yeah, so you put in your 2 weeks
Yeah.
at Coca-Cola, and you was out of there.
Yeah.
On to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Focus more on your dreams, right?
I was, because I realized that, okay, my plan was once I moved here, I'm going to have my day job, but I'm also going to do work at night, because that's what I was doing already back at school. I was going to school during the day,
Right.
and then at night I was doing some open mic in New York City. That was my thing, and I was networking. So I kind of called it the domino effect. I made up my own little term, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to these open mics, meet people, build connections, and that's what happened. And I was like, okay, my plan is coming into fruition, so now it's time for me to go.
Wow. So you literally lived in New York? Like
Yeah.
That lifestyle?
Yeah, it was
fun.
fun.
They say if you make it in New York,
you can make it yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah, I had so
Wow.
much fun in New York. I miss New York.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Even the cold?
No,
Okay.
I don't miss the cold.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I don't miss the cold. But I miss the thing about New York is everybody there is very like tunnel vision. They're walking with a purpose. Here in Atlanta, there's a lot of Southern hospitality, and there's a lot of, hey, how you doing? I want to have a conversation. If they see you, if y'all lock eyes, you're going to have a conversation.
Right.
In New York, nobody's locking eyes. We all got places to go. And I kind of really like the aggression of that. But I love the South's vibe. I love Atlanta's, like, diversity, and there's so many different opportunities here. There's opportunities in New York too, but they're two different things.
Yeah, definitely two different things.
Two different things.
I think I've been in New York 2 times, maybe 3, but just to visit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely, the culture is different.
Culture
Like you said,
is a culture shock.
It's heads down. They say walk fast, move fast.
Move fast, move swiftly, because back in Ohio, it's a lot. It's kind of like here to an extent, in the fact that, like, when you lock eyes with somebody, you have to say hi. That's people's thing. It's like, hey, everybody says hi. New York, why are you looking at me?
Right, and they may even ignore you.
They're gonna ignore you or cuss you out.
Right.
So you gotta know what to
Pick
do.
your battles, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So you mentioned purpose.
Yeah.
As far as the word purpose, do you feel like, one, you know what your purpose is? Do you feel like you're still kind of finding it? How do you you know what I mean, determine that?
That's a good question.
That's a life question.
That's a life question, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 20 years old. I'm figuring out my purpose. I know what I'm passionate about. I know what comes easy to me.
Okay.
I know what I've naturally done, and I know my goal is to impact people. So I don't know if I can pinpoint my purpose, but I know what I want to do, and I again know what comes easy to me.
Well, I mean, that's a hard, difficult question I put on you. 'Cause
Yeah.
most people can't like, you know what I mean, word for word. It kind of is
Yeah.
something that it's always evolving, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I'll say, like, I know that I want to sing, and I want my music to be everywhere, heard everywhere. I want Grammys, I want all that.
Okay.
I'm coming for all that.
Right.
I'm coming for it.
Sure.
And right, because I claimed it. Exactly. And I also want to do movies and stuff, and that's what I've been getting into recently. And I don't know, things change like that. So I know what I want, and I know what I'm working towards, but I can't.
Yeah, well,
You
the
know what I
reason
mean?
I asked is because, like, especially as an artist, is like sometimes people either there's two different things, like what
Yeah.
they love doing and what their passion or their purpose
Okay.
is, are two different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all in one.
Yeah.
You know, like a Kobe or like a LeBron.
Yeah.
But then even them, as they're getting more into it, like, okay, I see like Kobe said, it wasn't the championships, it was the impact he had on the game.
Exactly.
And the upcoming generation. So
Exactly.
that was his. So
Yeah.
like I said, you're young. With time, you're probably
Yeah.
gonna find that. But it's always good to like self-reflect and kind of think about, like, you know, because it kind of puts things in perspective. Like,
Yeah. What?
Just I was gonna say, you know, one, that, you know, life is big.
Yeah.
It's bigger than, you know, than you, than me. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? So it's like, I always am interested to hear like somebody else's perspective on it.
I mean, I will say a big push that I have that, like, keeps me going is my family, specifically my siblings, because they look up to me because I'm their older sister. I'm the oldest.
Right.
And so I'm like, if they see that I'm going after something and I can do it, and they feel like, oh, well, my sister got it, so why can't I? Boom. That's what I want. Like, everything I'm doing. My youngest sister, her name's Sophia, when she turns 16, her voice, that girl can sing. When she turns 16, her voice gonna be crazy. And I kind of feel like I'm, like, opening doors for not just myself, but for my sisters, for my brother. And my brother's a producer. Shout out to Walter. Shout out to Lynette, Lydia, Sophia. Shout out to my siblings. Love you guys. Gang, yeah. But everything I do is not just for me, for my siblings. Right. I do a lot of it for my siblings. Yeah.
That's key. And like I said, once again, you're mature, but more mature than most artists when they're first coming into things. You know, so it's like. I think that's important because family is everything. You know
family
what I mean?
is
like,
everything.
You didn't choose your family. You know what I mean? It's
no,
like
I didn't.
That's what was given to you, and that's kind of all you have sometimes. So it's like I think it's definitely important to like keep that in perspective. And even me with my what I'm doing out here, is like I had to realize like, damn, I really miss my family, and it's like ultimately the goal is to make enough and to be in a position where you can either bring them closer to you or vice versa. So family first all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And that's not just a Midwest thing.
No, not at all.
You feel me? But
yeah.
Heard
that's you.
Cool. Is all your family back in
Akron?
Yeah.
My immediate family, yes.
Okay.
But I have my grandmother here. I have cousins here. My other, she's basically my sister. Shout out to Dominique. She's here. Shout out to Dominique. She's here. I got a whole bunch of cousins, uncles. Yeah. I got family down here.
Okay, good. That's good.
So I'm good.
You kind of got like a little foundation going on.
For sure. For sure.
Ooh. Well, one of the questions, this is something that I actually wanted to ask you like beforehand and something that I was kind of planning to talk to you about is like, so you're an artist, you're a musician.
Yeah.
Do you feel like musical artists have a responsibility as far as like on their listeners to like, just any responsibility as far as what they are, the message they're giving to them? Or do you feel like music and art is more so a creative outlet and it should be
for me?
Yeah.
So let me make sure I'm answering this correct. You're wondering if it's my responsibility to make the music for the people or just make the music for me, and if you relate to it, you relate to it.
That part.
I mean, it really depends. It really depends because it depends on the song. Some songs are just like, I have a lot on my chest and I want to be able to just put it out there for people to relate to. So you might make the song really general.
Right.
I mean, you have artists like Summer Walker. She just did Still Over It, an entire album about her situation. But look how many people it impacted. Right. That were able to like, oh wow, I've gone through the same thing. So I mean, it really depends on the song. Some songs you make for the people. Literally, the beat is fire. We don't know any of the lyrics, but it's for the people to dance.
I mean,
no, you know, and that's a lot of the songs that are out right now. It's just for people to have fun and dance. So I really think it depends on the day. Is it my responsibility to cater to the listener? I mean, of course, to an extent, it is, because I'm the artist. And if you're listening to me, there's a reason why you're listening to me, because you want something. You like something I do, so of course I need to stay consistent in that. But as far as without the people, would I be making the music, or how do I want to put it? As far as, like, it being my responsibility what you listen to? No.
Right. See, and my viewpoint has changed, and I'll give you my take on it just to kind of give you more of a perspective. Is like, for me, I feel like it isn't your responsibility. I just feel like the responsibility of the artist is to be authentic.
For sure.
And to be genuine. So it's like, if you're really living a certain lifestyle, or this is where you at in your life, do that. You know what I mean? You don't need to be like, oh, I want, a certain demographic, so I'm going to act like I'm this, or I'm going to talk about this because I know it's going to sell. Like, it's the authenticity. So
for sure.
You can't knock an artist like, say, a Kendrick Lamar who makes an album just about himself and his family, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you got artists like, who can I say? I ain't gonna say Lil Baby, but like a Lil Baby that's more so in the street culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they in two different places.
For sure.
Mentally.
Yeah. And,
you know what I'm saying, in their lifestyle. So it's like, as long as you're authentic, I feel like you're doing it justice. It's when the acting and the cap comes in.
Yeah,
you know
talking about stuff that you're not about. And I'm at the studio right now. They're working on, we're really talking about brand. And my biggest thing is, and they've been so easy to work with. I've been really receptive to all notes, and the biggest thing that I want to let them know is like, I don't want to be anything that I'm not, and I'm not the kind of girl, you're not gonna see me twerking on stage. You might see a little booty bump, but you're not gonna see choreo with cheeks. That's not my show. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not my show.
Go to Blue Flame.
Yeah. Well, hello, Magic City. That's not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just staying true to your authentic self. If it relates to the people, then it does. And again, some songs are made just to dance. So some songs are made for the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, speaking of songs, you recently put out a song
Yes.
and a music video.
Yes.
And I have listened to it and seen it. So I got my reaction, or like my perspective on it, or what I
Okay.
think it's about.
Okay.
But
Tell me what you think it's about. I'm curious.
I'm talking about Kiss and Tell.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm talking Kiss and Tell.
Kiss and tell and I deny right in your face, yeah. Baby, know your place, yeah. This ain't what you thought it was, nigga. No, I ain't on that with you. Did what we did and that was it, now it's over. This ain't what you thought it was, nigga. Told you from the jump what I was on. You said you were with it. Stop calling my phone. I won't say you did.
Kiss and Tell.
So
I mean, from what I've seen, you know what I mean?
I'll tell you if you're right.
Okay. Basically, there was a situation with a young man
Yes.
and yourself, and he thought it was one thing, and you thought it was something else.
Yes.
So there was kind of like a miscommunication.
Yes.
And now you kind of just let them know, like, this is what it is, and it's not what you thought it was.
Of course,
So,
you got it.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Be listening.
Listening very closely. That's great. Yeah, the song was, to me, I wanted to make it a woman identifying or female identifying empowerment song. And that goes for anybody who identifies as a female. Anybody.
Okay.
But I feel like there is a double standard when it comes to men and women. I feel like...
Talk about it.
Let's talk about the double standard. Let's talk about it. I feel like men get away with so much because they are expected to just think with things that aren't their mind, okay? And we just let it slide.
Man, don't be thinking with your boy. That's something valuable you taking from back home and from your bloodline.
Instead of thinking with the little head, think with the big head. That's the Marco Joe boy. You feel me?
Don't be thinking with your boy. She gon' think you do a drink, boy. Stop teaching what you.
And then when a girl does the same thing, then she's seen as fast, and she's seen as this and that and that. And it's like there are situations where it can be miscommunication, where two people come together, the girl thinks it's one thing, and me, I'll speak for myself, I'm very like upfront. I'm very like, look, this is what it is. If you want to continue. And that could be me liking you, me not really trying to go all out. But if you want to continue, that is up to you. But I let you know up front. So if you continue and then you get upset, well, I told you from the jump what I was on. That, and I put that in the song. So when I was writing the song, I heard the beat, and I was like, I've never written a song like this before, where I'm like talking mess.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun song.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was. I was like, okay. And I was
You
like,
kind of had like a West Coast bop to it too.
yeah, I was like, okay, I'll put that down. And then, so yeah, that's how the song came about. The song actually wasn't about anybody in particular. It was just, I just wrote it in general. Yeah, I just wrote it in general.
Sometimes you can think of a scenario.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's how it came about. But the video was fun to make. I directed it, produced it, wrote the scripts, casted.
Well, you're a good actress, and so was the people that were the actors that were in it, because it felt real. It was like you like, you know what I mean, came across something, and you like let us into, you know, a real life situation. So
yeah,
I think that's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really good song. Make sure y'all go download that, listen to it.
Stream Kiss and Tell. It's on all platforms. Out now. Music video is out now on my YouTube, Serrin Joy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And is this single about? Is it part of an album mixtape?
No, this was just a single.
Is it a single?
Yep,
Okay.
just single. But there is a project coming on the way. There is a project. Surprise.
That's all we get.
That's all you get.
Okay.
There's a project.
All right, we'll keep it like
There's
that.
a project. Yeah.
Nice. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And as far as like timeline, do you feel like this year, next year, as far as a project?
I can't say.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything. Yeah.
I mean, as an artist and being creative, I think that's good because you don't put that, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because I could say this
That
year and then
clock
I
on.
don't come out with something until
They're
next
gonna
year.
be mad at you.
It's like Sarah was capped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He said no cap. She capping.
I can't say.
Yeah.
But I will say a project is on the way.
Okay. And along the lines of Kiss and Tell, this is one of the winding down. I'm just want to ask like a few more questions.
Okay.
You know, because we brought up the man and woman dynamic,
Yes.
the relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
Here on my podcast, it's like I want to be able to have conversations about any and everything for the most part. So like with you being a artist, how's like the relationships
Yeah.
and in the career, how has that process been for you?
I mean, the people that I tend to be attracted to are also people who are like-minded in the fact that they have big dreams. And so that could be anything from an actor to a musician to a dancer to a cook. Like, they have big dreams. And so I'm like, as long as we both see an end goal of like, I don't know, as far as me, one day I want my house back home to be a museum. That's what I want. One day I want to be able to hop on my private jet. I need a new purse. I want to go to Paris. Whoever I'm with, they got to see that mentality.
Ambition.
Vision. That's what I like. I like ambitious people who are driven. And so when it comes to relationships that I've had, they've been like-minded. So it tends to, as far as the work goes in hand, it tends to work itself out.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's possible for you to build a career and to build something healthy, or do you feel like it's going to kind of come as you are already in the position you want to be in your career, or do you not even think in those terms? You're kind of like, what happens, happens.
I'm definitely, I'll say right now, I'm on a what happens type of time. Only because, like, I'm in my 20s. I've changed so much in the past couple months. Like, I'm not even the same person I was a couple months ago. So whoever is with me, they're going to have to be able to evolve. And I'm going to assume that they're also going to grow. So I'm going to have to be okay with them evolving. We're going to have to evolve together. Right. And I don't want to put so much pressure on anything or set expectations too high, because who knows, a year from now we could be two completely different people. So it's like I'm kind of at the moment just a whatever happens type of person right now. Yeah,
for sure. I mean,
for sure.
That's an awesome way to be.
Yeah,
what I mean? Especially with the field you're in.
Yeah, because you meet so many people. And it's like
everything happens in due time too. Like that's how I look. You know what I mean? Everything is on perfect timing, and
it is. And what's meant to be will be.
What's meant to be.
So it's like, yeah. So there's that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I feel it. Okay. Well, I don't think there's any other questions I necessarily have. This has been amazing conversation.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again for coming and being a part of it.
Thank you for having
this
me.
This podcast is going to be everywhere one day.
Yeah, it is.
So you know.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? I got big goals and dreams when it comes to it.
Yeah.
And, just kind of coming with something different and asking questions that I feel like need to be asked.
For sure.
Talking about things that need to be talked about.
For sure.
You know, bringing young artists, you know, giving them a platform to promote themselves and express themselves.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? So it's something that I'm proud of, and I know we haven't known each other long, but proud of you and everything that you got going on.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Know, so.
Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. So, yeah, I mean, you guys can find me everywhere on social media at Serrin Joy Music. That's SerrinJoyMusic. That's Instagram, Twitter. You can find me on YouTube at Serrin Joy, TikTok, Serrin Joy Music. And yeah.
Nice. One handle.
One handle.
Okay.
One handle for all of them.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Artists, pay attention to that. I mean, I got my name different. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got accounts from when I was 15 years old. Like, it's,
Nah, I had to. I'll say this: because I did American Idol in 2020.
Okay.
And I used to have different IG handles, different Twitter handles, and they were like, "Nah, we need everything to be the same." Exact. So I just went through and made everything the same thing.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
makes it easier for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, y'all make sure y'all go follow her on all her socials. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. That is gonna be a wrap for episode 3 of the True Mind Podcast. We out.
Free your mind, just free your mind. Take the chains off, you don't need them, that's fine. Liberation is in peace of mind.
Liberation is in peace of mind. Liberation is in peace of mind. Liberation is in peace of mind. Liberation is in peace of mind.